Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sascha Farbach. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said on Tuesday that he had spoken by phone with Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, emphasizing that Berlin and Warsaw remain aligned in their support for Ukraine. The call comes ahead of an expected bilateral military cooperation agreement to be signed next week by Defense Ministers Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz and Boris Pistorius. The timing is significant. On June 17th, Poland and Germany will mark the 35th anniversary of the Treaty on Good Neighborliness and Friendly Cooperation, a milestone expected to coincide with the signing of the new defense agreement and a renewed commitment to closer strategic ties. Yet, the anniversary also comes amid sensitive debates over historical memory, security guarantees for Ukraine, and the future of European defense. And joining us now is Knut Abraham, German Member of Parliament from the Christian Democratic Union and German Government Coordinator for Polish-German Cooperation. Good to have you with us. Let's begin right in the thick of it. How likely, there was a little bit of, let's say, confusion about this renewed treaty, or rather this new defense pact on the 17th of June. How likely is that treaty that it will go ahead next week?
Oh, I'm absolutely sure that we will see the signing ceremony of this important treaty on June 17th in Warsaw. It is highly symbolic and very important in our bilateral relations, and I have no doubt that we will see it coming next week.
So you said that it's symbolic, but at the same time, let's talk about the tangibles of that. It's very much also, it includes military cooperation. So what does that give Poland and Germany? Give us a few details how you see this potentially play out.
Well, I was describing it as highly symbolic because it underlines the close alliance Germany and Poland have and live in. It is mainly on a specific military cooperation project, but of course it confirms the clause of a NATO Treaty Article 5 and EU Treaty Article 42. So the bilateral defense obligations. And it is an important markstone for our relations, and this is the main idea.
Mm-hmm. There's several other bilateral treaties that Poland is also signing, but just on that, let's go back in history a little bit. In those 35 years, you are dealing with that issue between Poland and Germany. In your mind, since 1991, how have those relations changed? Has that reconciliation in your mind is now complete? What's missing? How do you assess the whole relationship right now?
Oh yes, the relationship has changed enormously. We are completely out of this junior partnerism, if you wish. Very positive. On the economic area, in defense, in everything. Poland is a modern, well-organized country with a fantastic infrastructure, so no comparison to the dark times of socialism, of the existing socialism on Polish and German soil. So it is a success story. Poland is Germany's trading partner number 5. It is the 20th biggest economy in the world. And that has, of course, changed the political relation absolutely. And Poland is no longer a junior partner to Germany, and Germany is no longer acting as the big uncle from the West.
All right, so in your mind, you said that junior partnership is now over. Also at the same time, that reminds me there was a call now between the German Chancellor and the Polish Prime Minister. Posted on X, Mr. Merz was saying very much, I'm quoting here, detailed and good conversation with Polish Prime Minister Tusk. We agree on our course alongside Ukraine. We will continue to coordinate closely. This war must now come to an end. So in your mind, how do you read that, and how aligned are these two countries on this policy, and what does that mean in terms of next steps?
Yeah, well, Poland and Germany share the absolute same view on the war against Ukraine. We support the victims. We support Ukraine in its fight for freedom and independence against the Russian aggression. So there is no difference. The current debate is on the format. And as we see, there is this established E3 format, and this is approved by President Zelensky too. But of course, the Polish and the Italians have a point. It needs absolute close cooperation so that the closest partners here in Europe do not have the feeling that they are somehow left out. So it needs intensive cooperation, and that is what the Chancellor is doing by taking up the phone yesterday, for example, and talking to his colleague and friend, Donald Tusk.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned E3, that just concluded, and that does not include Poland. There's also different formats. Right. We talk about E5, and also one which I'm curious about is the Weimar Triangle, right? So this association between Poland, Germany, and France. So in all these formats, where do you see, for instance, the Weimar format moving? Is that now the engine that continues? Do you see it concerning? Is it all at the same time? Which of these formats do you see the most, let's say, cooperation with Germany and Poland?
Well, I see the most dynamic format when it comes to possible peace negotiations at the moment in the E3, plus coordinating with Poland and Italy. That is the format I see in the main focus. The Weimar Triangle, consisting of France, Germany, and Poland, is still an important bridge in the center of Europe, but it needs operational tasks, and this is what is to be developed and what has to be developed. But operational is more the E3 format. But another point is that, of course, the EU, and this means the High Representative Kaja Kallas, needs to be included, because in the end, it is all about the EU membership, future EU membership of Ukraine, and the EU has the say on that. And it needs a very strong and very close cooperation with the EU institutions, not only the national member states.
But also at the same time, you said the EU is key here, and obviously Germany being a member, a founding member of that. You mentioned Ukraine. And also, but I'm curious now, because if we look at the phone call on this X comment, they're both aligned on the course alongside Ukraine. But it wasn't that long ago that Germany proposed a sort of associated membership proposal for the Ukrainians rather than that full membership. So I'm just wondering, is that still the alignment? It sounds a bit different. So how does that policy, let's say, differ here?
Well, the point with these alternative models is not to replace the full membership in the European Union. The point is that people in Ukraine expect rapid changes and a rapid accession to the EU. This is, as Poland knows, as we all know in the European Union, a long process. And so the Chancellor what ideas of partially membership already put in place in the very soon future. So it is not to replace full membership. It is an idea of enabling the full membership and do it by a step-by-step approach, but visible for the population, and that is important.
Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, looking at this bilateral and different defense agreements that are just taking shape, I mean, it's what Poland's doing with other countries, Germany involved. Do you see this as not just a trend now? Is this the new way things are going, more bilaterals with key countries across Europe? Is this all going to enhance European Union and NATO? And why do you think all of these different sort of iterations are happening right now in this way?
Everything is happening, of course, with the uncertainty of the U.S. foreign policy and security policy and the presence of U.S. military in Europe. So every reassurance, bilateral, additionally, is welcome and should send out the right signals to our populations that we stand together. But of course, what binds us together is NATO and EU. So it is an additional instrument, but cannot replace the NATO obligations or EU obligations.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, back to this alignment with Ukraine, I mean, Poland has also stepped up and really very much from the beginning of that full-scale invasion. Germany has now also come, was
Absolutely,
a bit reluctantly,
yes.
But also, I mean, looking at the future of that relationship, I mean, are Berlin and Warsaw coordinating here? Is there maybe going to be some slight competition in terms of who's helping more? Where do you see this play out? Can both sides benefit here?
From my point of view, that would be ideal if we have a race who is helping and who is supporting the most. No, I think they are absolutely, Germany and Poland, Berlin and Warsaw, they are absolutely on the same page. And we will see a meeting of the foreign ministers, Radek Sikorski and Johann Wadefuhl, next week in Berlin, when we'll be having this big German-Polish civil society summit to mark the anniversary of the Treaty of Good Neighborhood. So already next week, the next opportunity to show German joint solidarity with Ukraine, because this is still the biggest challenge for all Europe, the war against Ukraine, and that means the war against all of us.
Right, and those 35 years of good neighborliness, as you said, that's going to matter for Europe, and we'll be reporting on that as we have more next week. Thank you so much, Knut Abraham there, German Member of Parliament, the Bundestag from the CDU, and German Coordinator for Polish-German Coordination. Thank you. And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay right here with us on TVP World for more. Goodbye.